The Shepnaz Podcast begins now.
Welcome to the Shepnaz Podcast. I'm Joe, and I'm your host today for not Worship Wednesday.
Weird.
I know, wasn't it weird?
I was so ready.
I wanted to go there,
Yeah.
but it's not.
It's
Actually,
not at all.
it is the day after Christmas as you're hearing this.
Hey-o.
But if we're being completely transparent, there's a reason that if you're watching the video, you see Pastor Zack all spiffied up.
I spiffied up.
In a jacket.
Yeah.
Looking very nice, very festive.
Thank you. This is the jacket I wore for my ordination service, and I figured if I was going to invest all that money into a nice suit, I should at least wear it more than once.
Nice.
So here we are.
Well, if there was any question of just about how ad hoc we are around here, this should at least reaffirm any of those assumptions.
Yes.
We are right now.
Yes.
It's actually Christmas Eve as we're talking, and we're in the middle of a bunch of Christmas Eve services.
We're literally in between two services right now.
So we had a 3:00 service, a 4:30 service, and a 6:00 service that's coming up in about 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
I figured, hey, let's just hop on here.
Why not?
Because this will come out the day after Christmas. We are just wrapping up our Advent podcast, all of those devotionals we did, which was a lot of fun to get everybody in there.
Yeah, that was cool.
You notice my fake family room is now gone.
I know, man.
And we've been put back in the closet.
We're back.
We're
Back in the cave.
In the cave where there's no heat or cooling.
Suffer for the Lord in this closet back here, man.
But that's all right.
All good.
So as everybody on the planet that is on Spotify at one point or another gets a little notification towards the end of the year, it's like, hey, we've got your Wrapped. Did you get one of those?
I did, and it was interesting.
Was it? What did you find on yours that was interesting?
So I guess the albums and bands, I guess, did it. It wasn't a big surprise. For those who don't know me, I'm a big heavy metal fan. Yeah. Outside of listening to worship music. And normally I have my kids in the car listening to The River. Yes. And so when I don't have my kids in the car, I'm listening to Spotify and it's heavy metal. So it was a bunch of heavy metal bands. But then when it came to songs and genres, there was randomly country in there. And literally come to find out that it was because I played for someone's wedding and they had a bunch of country songs that they wanted and I didn't know any of them. So I listened to them. So you listened
to a lot.
1,000 times.
So now Spotify thinks, this is a guy that likes really heavy metal and occasionally has a country side.
Little country in me, apparently. It was interesting, yes.
Well, as many of you know, maybe some of you are listening to us on Spotify. We're also on YouTube and all the other platforms, Apple Podcasts, all that kind of stuff.
Worldwide.
But Spotify kind of gives us our Wrapped for the end of the year. And
which last year was very eye-opening.
Yeah? Well, what part of that might have been to you?
There was just some statistics that I was not expecting.
Yeah.
Not doubting the popularity of this amazing podcast, but
of course.
Being in what was it, the top 10% or even lower of Spotify video podcasts, which was impressive. That's cool.
I mean, they had 3.
Yeah, and we were one of them, so it was awesome. But yeah, it was just funny. And some of like the most popular episodes, I kind of figured, but it was fun. It was a good time. And I'm looking forward to doing it again.
All right, so we're actually going to get into, as much as we can with the time that we have, but here, I'll give you some stats about the Spotify, or about our podcast from the Shepnaz Podcast. They said, first of all, we are a podcast that people talked about.
Hey.
It says you received more comments than 98% of other shows.
Whoa.
What?
Dang.
We were also marked as, they give you these little badges. We were marked as a marathon show. Now, that has nothing to do with the quality. That's like, you guys just keep
content, baby. Pump it out. Good, bad, or indifferent. You're getting it.
So they listeners listening to you for longer than 90% of the other shows.
Wow.
That's
Nice.
we are a 2025 rising star. This year, your show's growth outpaced 83% of other shows.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
What?
That's cool.
Yeah. And now, if this is what actually, we're not really in control of any of that.
Right.
Number one, it's the Lord. And number two, it's people that will share and say, hey, you should be listening to this. There's some good stuff there from time to time.
At least on Wednesdays, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
The best.
All right. So another stat here, a total increase on our audience of 119%.
Nice. Look at us.
Now, this number, I think, is crazy. All right. Yeah. The other numbers, I didn't even think was crazy. But
I was going to say, those are still very crazy numbers. So.
Total new audience. So these are people like, they decided, oh, okay.
Give this a shot.
I'll listen to 30 seconds of this.
Yeah.
So this is in a percentage increase over the past year. It is a 999% increase.
What?
Over last year.
999%?
I am not doing the calculations. But
either God's doing something crazy or your algorithm is jacked, Spotify, but we're going to lean into the latter.
All right.
That's awesome, dude.
And our total followers at Spotify were up 25%. And their total listening time was up 15%. So they could actually stand to listen to us a little bit longer.
They got halfway through instead of cutting it off at the intro.
Now,
that's great.
I mentioned before that, we have stuff on, YouTube kind of has its own analytics. So these are what we're talking about is really all of kind of the regular podcast platforms. So the number one episode for 2025. YouTube aside, because we're going to talk about that in a second. Okay. So this is like the regular podcast platforms. The number one episode, any guesses?
No, I don't know. There's so many goodies.
It was Biblical Worship Explained. So it was a Worship Wednesday.
Really?
Yes. The Hebrew and Greek words you've never heard. That's that was the name of that episode.
That's awesome.
That was played 93% more times than the average episode.
Wow. That's cool. I believe that was a Noah prepared episode as well,
Probably.
if I'm not mistaken.
That was that right after he learned the whole Old Testament.
That's right, yeah. She became a learned. That's cool. Good for you, Noah. Proud of you.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Once again, it says your show was in the top 10% of video podcast on Spotify.
Hey, still doing it.
They watched, as far as video, 4% more than they did last year.
Nice.
So those are some crazy stats.
Yeah.
One of the things that we were talking about, and I kind of told Zach about this before because it was one that was just kind of like, wow, that's a weird outlier.
Right.
But sometimes you just never know. Like, it is a combination of an algorithm, of the right thumbnail, of the right video description, of whatever. But then above and beyond all that is what are people searching for, and how does the Holy Spirit lead them to say, you should click on that.
Yippers.
And there was one episode, and for those that are wondering, like we on a typical day, there's probably between, platforms and stuff, on any given day, it'll average out to about 100 people listening or so, something like that. And, but this was, like weird.
Yeah. This one was different.
Yeah. Because
not bad, just different.
It wasn't actually even a regular podcast episode. It was the second half of of a sermon that Kevin Angel preached. And all of a sudden, like 1,500 people wanted to see that one episode.
It's so wild.
Which that was great.
Yeah,
And then I checked on the analytics because I was like, oh, was it just like a bot clicking on it or something? And 3 seconds on, 3 seconds off. No. They were watching.
Legit.
They were watching the whole thing. So I thought that was really cool.
That is really cool.
And, for me, it really is not about the number of views. The whole point in doing this was to kind of follow up in our mission statement of helping people take their next step towards Jesus.
Yep.
And part of that process is to encourage people to engage on a daily basis. And if you're walking that walk by yourself, sometimes that's a hard thing to do. And so we try to make a way where like we'll walk alongside you.
Yep.
So speaking of that, there is kind of a takeoff of this that I wanted to do. You talked about how you kind of found some things out by looking at your Spotify Wrapped, and we were able to just share some great things from our Spotify Wrapped from the Shepnaz Podcast. But I was thinking about, hey, let's actually talk about, since we're at the end of the year, what does this look like? What does Joe 2025 Wrapped look like? Or what does Zack 2025 Wrapped look like? Yeah. When we take a look at it through a spiritual lens. And one of the verses that has come to mind in that, I've got a few here, but Psalms 139, 23 and 24 says, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me into the way of everlasting." And following up with that in 2 Corinthians 13:5 says, "Examine yourselves to see whether you are in the faith. Test yourselves. Do you not realize that Jesus Christ is in you? Unless, of course, you fail the test." And so we do have kind of some biblical admonition here to like, you know what, we should stop and take a look. And so that's kind of the challenge today, I think, for us. For you, what kinds of things do you think we should look at? I've got a few ideas, but what things do you think we should look at in order to kind of give ourselves an evaluation on that? And I'm giving you a couple seconds to think about this. But recently, it's no secret we've been having like what we call like a future church team, and we're doing a lot of kind of deep dive into kind of the mode and the rationale of everything that we're doing, and making sure that we're really staying focused on what God would have us to be focused on at the church. And in doing that, we have to bring ourselves under this scrutiny. And one of the practices that we were talking about is like, what things could we ask each other of how we would spur each other on to see if we were actually accomplishing what we said we were going to accomplish. We said we wanted to accomplish helping people take their next step. Well, how do we even know whether they are or not? And how do we help them take that step? How do we identify that step? Those kinds of things.
Right. It's a great question, Joe.
All right. Well, I gave you at least a minute.
It was good. It was good. So one of the things that I have been really, wrestling might not be the word, but something I've been really encouraged, and I think we had mentioned this in one of the Worship Wednesday podcasts not that long ago, of this idea of refining silver. And when you're refining silver, how you know that it's pure and you've eliminated all the impurities in it is that you can see your reflection in it. And if our goal is to allow Christ to purify us, to get rid of our impurities, he should be able to see himself in us.
Nice.
And I feel like so often we just check the boxes off of like, I did the good thing, like I did the prayer time, I did my reading, I did my journaling, I did my good deeds, quote unquote. I checked it off the box. But we don't often take the time to really look in the mirror and say, what do I see? Am I seeing still those impurities? Do I look in the mirror and am I ashamed of thinking all the things that the person in the mirror has done. Or when I look in the mirror, am I delighted because what I'm seeing is Christ working through me? And so really just taking that time to reflect and see, I'm one of those dudes that like, I always have a New Year's resolution and then it fades away after, I don't want to get up at 5 a.m. to work out 2 days in. But to set goals for ourselves and really take note of, where was I a year ago? Where was I last Christmas? And what has God brought me through? Think of the things, maybe you've had tough seasons over the year. Like, how did I get through that? What did it look like? How did I handle myself? Did I look like Christ through these moments? Did I hit the bottom? Did I find myself stuck in that pit? Or did I allow the Lord to work through me and to look more like him coming at the end of it? Because I don't think we do a lot of reflecting. We do a lot of box checking.
Yeah.
But reflecting's hard.
Well, and I think this whole discussion is going to go right into this weekend. This coming Sunday, Pastor Rob's going to start talking about a focus of prayer. It's not uncommon around here in January that we're like, hey, you know what? We're going to do 21 days of something.
Right.
And
'tis the season.
Right. And so we are going to be embarking on that. You're going to be hearing a lot more details over the weekend and in the upcoming week about how that's going to play out. And during that time, I guess my challenge would be another part of the discussion that we've been having in our talks is the difference between looking at inputs versus looking at outputs.
Right.
And this is something that you can help engage in your personal life, and we'll wrap up with this, is that an input might be, how many times did I read my Bible? How many times did I pray? How many church services did I go to? How many small groups did I attend? How many times have I served in my neighborhood? Those are all inputs. Now, outputs would be looking at, am I a kinder person?
Right.
Am I more patient? Am I more generous? Am I long-suffering with people? Am I slow to anger? All of those fruits.
Yes.
And
That's
if we can change our focus onto not just counting, okay, did I get my chapter done today? I mean, that's great. We want you to read, but we want you to read with the idea of, is it developing? Am I applying this? Is this making me into whom God wants me to be?
100%.
So we got to get another service started.
Yeah,
so
you ready to do this again?
Thank you so much for joining us for this day after Christmas. We would love to hear some of your comments and email us at podcast@shepnaz.org. Let us know how the Lord's working in your life, and maybe you can share this with some others. You could also check out everything that's going on at the church by going to shepnaz.org. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. For Pastor Zack, I'm Joe. Have a great day. This podcast is a production of the Shepherd Church of the Nazarene, Gahanna, Ohio. Email to podcast@shepnaz.org and let us know what you think.